Hello and welcome to K2Watch with Aamer Baig and Hasan Miraj. We want to discuss the terrorism in Pakistan by the Indians, especially in Baluchistan. We have been discussing the alleged assassination of Hardeep Singh Nichar in Vancouver, British Columbia by the Indian diplomats. Is there any evidence of Indian terrorism in Pakistan, especially in Baluchistan?
Thank you, Dr. Amir. As you said that we had discussed the alleged assassination of Khalistani Canadian citizen last week. And that is an kind of act of terrorism, overseas terrorism. In that connection, we want to discuss today about the destabilizing activities of India in Pakistan, and especially in Baluchistan. And we'll come back to say why more focused in Baluchistan these days. So, the act of destabilization or the activities that can cause Pakistan into disruption has been going on for decades by the Indian entities, especially RAW, which is Research and Analysis Wing, which is the spy agency of the Indian government. So it has been documented in various sources, and today my presentation is based on the data and the research available globally, internationally, in many of the well-reputed, well-known resources, literature related to terrorism, and some not well-known. So bear with me. Today I may not have a very good eye contact with my honorable audience because I may have to read out several things. Actually, when I was doing the research on Indian behavior, I found that the way the India behaves with Pakistan, just like an adversary and an enemy, this has been seen historically in the Hindu society. I was reading that in the reign and in the times of Chandragupta Maurya, the Hindu ruler, there was a book written by one of their scholars, very famous scholars, and a very famous book on this subject, and that was called Arthashastra. The name of the book is Arthashastra, and the writer is known as Kautilya. And this book was written in the time periods of Emperor Chandragupta Maurya. And this book depicts how the philosophy and theory to destabilize your immediate neighbor to achieve many ends, and then to have connections and have good relations with the neighbors of neighbors around this immediate neighbor, which means distant neighbors, so that you can encircle your immediate neighbor for your vested interests by having friendship with distant neighbors. In our system, if you see, if we consider Pakistan, Pakistan's distant neighbors, Afghanistan, Iran, and other nations. Yeah. And so the theory of Kautilya was to achieve your interests, you can destabilize your immediate neighbor by growing relationships with distant neighbors. But that was very interesting. And it appears and it looks like it is applying on the current day situation when India acts in a way in which it can very much disrupt the systems in Pakistan. I would like to quickly give you some categorical incidences that have happened very much by the terrorist acts of Indian government, Indian spy agency RAW. The very famous is the arrest of Kulbhushan Yadav in 2016 when he was trying to enter Pakistan through Baluchistan. He was a working Indian Navy officer, and he was running a spy network of RAW, and he was arrested in 2016, and he said that he was assigned to spread such activities that would cause disruption in Baluchistan. Besides this, there are many arrests that have happened.
He's in the custody of Pakistan.
He's in the custody of Pakistan. He has been
sentence. Yeah.
Yes, he's under trial, and he has admitted that he was involved and he was a naval officer in Indian Army. There are many other arrests, but this is the one of the most famous one. Now I will go through some quick incidences of terrorism in Pakistan who are connected to Indian hand, who are connected to the spy agency RAW. In May 2020, the attack at Handawa in Baluchistan killed Pakistani army personnel, and it was revealed a few days prior openly as a threat by a very famous Indian news channel. Just few days before, it was told that this is going to happen, and that happened. On August 8th, there was a suicide bomb in Quetta Civil Hospital that killed 70 people. And the fingerprints of RAW, the Indian involvement, were there. And Ajit Doval and the Prime Minister Modi had left no secret, saying that they are going to involve in Baluchistan, they are going to disrupt Pakistan to achieve their own ends.
Why they want to go to Baluchistan? Why? Is because of CPEC or some minerals and reserves of gold and copper and all those?
So, Dr. Ahmed, it's a very good question. Baluchistan is a province that is very rich in minerals and all that. So, if that province develops, it is a development for Pakistan. And if that province is unstable, it causes instability in Pakistan.
Plus, it's a CPEC kind of thing.
The next thing is CPEC. The Canada, Gwadar Port. You're right.
It's a deep sea port.
Deep sea port, which is going to make connection between the Far East, the Middle East, and Pakistan and Central Asia. And that, of course, brings prosperity to Pakistan, which is again against the wishes of India. Unfortunately, the Hindu ideology. And then also Baluchistan is a province that is distant, and they can easily achieve their ends there. It's easy.
I think a geostrategical position of Pakistan is more important that play a major role in CPEC.
Yes, I mean, if China will be connected through Pakistan to the Arabian Sea, to the Gulf, and then to the Central Asia connection and all this. And that brings prosperity to Pakistan, which again, unfortunately, very unfortunately, Pakistani neighbor India does not really likes to happen.
Why I would like to ask another question. Why the India wants Pakistan to destabilize through terrorism?
Yes, because since the nuclear weapons that have been achieved by Pakistan, India understands that war is no option. And when the war is no option, the other option is economics. So they want to destabilize Pakistan economically. And when there are bombs, when there are blasts, when there are disruption in infrastructure by terrorism, then of course there is no economic development. That's the second, that is the way they are trying to do it. And obviously we know since 75 years of this independence, there have been several wars between India and Pakistan, and somehow India has never allowed Pakistan to prosper, to grow.
Okay, well, let's change the topic. How would you compare Baluchistan with Kashmir?
So, that is a very interesting question, because Kashmir is a disputed territory altogether, internationally, globally recognized. UN resolutions. It's a disputed territory internationally between India and Pakistan. And there is a promise of plebiscite, a referendum for the people of Kashmir to decide their fate. Whereas Baluchistan is an integral part of Pakistan, there is no dispute, no international resolutions, no international security resolutions. There's nothing. It has been an integral part and official part of Pakistan since 1947, and by the wishes of the people of Baluchistan. So there's total difference between Kashmir and Baluchistan. But Indians, they want to compare between Kashmir and Baluchistan. They want to prove somehow that what is happening in Kashmir is also happening in Baluchistan, which is totally untrue. Because first of all, the official and legal status of Kashmir and Baluchistan are totally different. Secondly, there's no insurgency in Baluchistan. The people of Baluchistan are patriotic Pakistanis and Muslims.
Did you find any written evidence in the global literature of terrorism?
Yes, Dr. Aamer, I have found with my research and data collection significant evidence. I will give you some aspects. Now, this is in World Affairs, the Journal of International Issues, in April 2019. Prasanta Sahu, he says, India's Baluchistan tactics has shattered Pakistan-Kashmir dream. So he says the neighbors of India have always been suspicious of Indian actions and often allege that New Delhi interferes in their domestic affairs. Most question Modi's clearance and call for regional development. Critics doubt that any country in South Asia would support a nationalist political leader of India. Now, this is from the journal World Affairs, the Journal of International Issues, in April 2019. Then we have a journal Asia Pacific. In 2022, there is an article that says terrorism returns to Pakistan, Baluchistan. The analyst claims that Indian hand is behind the rise in terror attacks, that New Delhi is opening new fronts in Baluchistan with the help of dissident elements along the borders to settle the score on Kashmir. Then I looked and I found that South Asia Journal article in this on April 9, 2023. It is with the title Indian Terrorism Baluchistan. The author writes, India has a tradition of interfering in the internal affairs of its neighbors. India wants to be the regional policeman, while Pakistan has emerged as the principal impediment to India's attempt to manage the politics of the region. So it also refers the Catalia theory. There have been many occasions where Indian authorities have admitted to supporting terrorism in Pakistan, notably in Baluchistan. Then, if you look at the Wilson Center, Michael Kugelman's Wilson Center article, Why Does Pakistan Accuse Indian Spies on Terrorism? And that is published in June 19, 2015. And if you go through this article, you will also understand how terrorism works in South Asia. Then again, Observer Research Foundation, article on August 22, 2016, Why the New Baluchistan Strategy is the Best Option for India. Again, the author Rajesh Rajagopalan, he refers to the speech by Modi in which he talked about Baluchistan and he threatened about the consequences.
And plus, he also, I think Modi, when he went to Bangladesh, he
exactly.
said that we have separated, we buried that two-nation theory.
I mean, Modi in 2015, when he went to Bangladesh, he admitted that that we supported the separation of Pakistan.
Yes.
By our military and by our politics and everything.
So it means that the roots of terrorism, it comes from India.
Exactly.
In Pakistan.
Exactly. And then we see another article published in 2017 by the Institute of Strategic Studies, and it says Indian interference in Baluchistan, analyzing the evidence and implications for Pakistan. And finally, I would give you another evidence of a published article in Herald by Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, written by Toby Dalton and George Pekovich. It was published in 2016, September 19. And the author writes, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent public references to Baluchistan and Gilgit-Baltistan confirm for many Pakistanis what they have long suspected, that India is employing covert means to destabilize and foment violence in Pakistan. If India is punishing Pakistan with covert operations, it would be a disturbing development in the nearly 75 years security competition between two states. but it should not come as a great surprise. Al Jazeera in 2020 writes that to Pakistani Foreign Minister said that they have presented evidence to UNO and international bodies about the Indian interference and terrorism in Pakistan, especially in Baluchistan. Statement says India was training, harboring and launching terrorism into Pakistan from 87 training groups, 66 in Afghanistan and 21 in India. This was before the Taliban government came in. Then in 2022, May 16, there is a published article. The author writes, after Taliban, RAW coordinated with National Directorate of Security, which is the spy agency of Afghanistan, and they created Indian proxies in Baluchistan. That included Baluchistan Liberation Association, Baluchistan Liberation Front, Baluchistan Republican Army, and Lashkar-e-Baluchistan. In 2018, India unified BLA, BLF, BRA into Baloch Raji Sanghar under the leadership of Allah Nazar of RAW, trained by RAW. In August 2020, Afghanistan consulates were used, especially Kandahar and Jalalabad, by the Indians to perpetrate and to send in terrorists into Pakistan through Baluchistan. And there were 18 consulate generals along the border of Pakistan and Afghanistan, Indian consulate generals. And the question was, why you need 18 consulate generals on the border of India and Pakistan? Now, so there is a lot of literature evidence available that shows that the international community, although it's not loud about Indian terrorism, is aware and knows that what is India doing to Pakistan.
I think the presence of those 18 consulate generals in along the borders of Pakistan and Afghanistan, I think they are helping those who are infiltrating into Pakistan borders from Afghanistan and providing them money and providing them weapons and all those. That has been found over there when the Taliban captured.
Yeah, this is the time when there was no Taliban. Taliban wants good relations with Pakistan, therefore they don't allow those activities. But this was when the Taliban government was not there. So this is plenty of evidence, and there's also a reference in which it is said that there's a special cell in RAW, consisting of 700 militia, 700 people, directly supervised by Modi to sabotage through RAW into Pakistan. So, and there's good evidence that this has been happening, and as I said, war is not an option after nuclearization of Pakistan. So sabotage, disruption, so that the economy of Pakistan is destroyed, and therefore economic defeat for Pakistan.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hasan Miraj. We have almost covered the India filtration in Pakistan and especially in Baluchistan. In our next topic, we might bring how Pakistan tackles all those invaders who come from India. Keep watching K2Watch and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you.